Um, so I first got interested into the program back in 2015. I was just finishing up my internship with IBM Watson at that time, and I was working on completely different things. And I used to be a volunteer code contributor for Mozilla for a very different project called Firefox OS, which is not there anymore. It was supposed to be a mobile operating system, but completely built on JavaScript. At that time, one of the teams in Mozilla had a project called A-Frame, and they were having a booth, kind of a demonstration show, and they wanted somebody to take care of it. And I was contacted that if I'm interested. I said, of course, but I didn't know enough about the project. So next 1.5 week, sorry, I got in touch with the engineers. They kind of showed me around, like, okay, this is the code, this is what we are trying to do, and basic overview of the functionalities and what we can do at that time with A-Frame, one of the like libraries for virtual reality at that time. And then I got interested, and I after the session I was just playing around, and I thought this was super cool. uh, Contrary to most of my work where we built something, we tested, virtual reality or A-Frame for me at that time was I could quickly build and deploy something, immediately see it, visualize it, and keep iterating on it. So that's how I first got into it. Later, in my PhD, I made it. In my master, so I did my master thesis in optimizing virtual reality. So I kind of made it my work where I got into JavaScript parallelization and how we can actually squeeze out more performance using JavaScript in our mobile devices or our computer. And for specific use case, I took virtual reality as my use case. So we kind of optimized the libraries and how you can get more out of it, because since it's real time, you need more performance out of it. That's kind of my journey uh, with virtual reality till now. Yeah, so one of the things we are so this is one of the fields we are still experimenting with it. So presence, or how the behavior or interaction or even privacy should be in virtual reality, in also in augmented reality, because so one of the things I will probably show today, one of the use cases in VR is that you have a social interaction. So maybe you have a shared classroom or a shared meeting room. So we have something called hubs. It's an open source project by Mozilla, where you can have a shared meeting room, and we have been using it for last 2 years now, where you can just have a either virtual reality headset or even a mobile phone in a Google Cardboard. You enter in a VR space, you have a meeting with your colleagues, maybe countries apart, or maybe you are in a classroom and you are streaming, like right this video. Instead of me showing this video in a Skype, I can enter a VR room where I can see it in maybe 360-degree with other people. Now, when I say other people, what do I mean? So each of us has to be represented somehow. So our presence has to be represented somehow. So one of the ways we are doing that is now by having avatars. So you choose an avatar, however you want it to be, customize it, and that is your unique identity inside that scene. And you interact with other people or other avatars, and you see the video. That's how it kind of goes. Now, when you see presence, what I think is that how we interpret ourselves inside those scenes. So for example, in a first person game, even in a VR, your presence is your first person view. So imagine like me as a light source, and when I'm viewing that, that is kind of my only presence there. I don't see myself, so I don't have an avatar where I can see myself. But if it's a multi-person scene or game or whatever, you need some kind of presence so others can actually see, okay, that's an entity there, and that's how they're interacting with it. We are still coming to the terms that how we should do that. What we are doing right now is having abstract identities. For example, when I go inside, I'll probably be represented by a robot or a duck. We don't want to kind of personify that as a person yet, because that has a lot of that will need to have a lot of other discussion, like how, what kind of person, how much customization you want to give the user. So we are probably still thinking about that. Apart from that, that's kind of what I think as a presence inside VR. Yes. So I thank you. So what I want everybody to do is, just give me one moment. So I'll just share my screen. Just give me one moment. I'm still finding. Okay, found it. I don't think so. I just macOS needs permissions, right? Probably. Yeah, can you see my screen? Probably not. Oh, yeah, I think. Yeah, yeah, I think it will be little. So, what I want everybody to do is, can everybody go to this link? I'll just wait for a minute. So you can use your laptop or mobile. Mobile will be interesting because I want to show you something, but yeah, whatever you want. Okay, I can see a lot of people joining in, or at least some of you joining in. So what's happening is there. Here I can see all of you join in. So this is a shared screen running right off my browser, and this is a VR scene. Yes. Hi. Yeah. Okay. So I can see somebody here. Can you see it in my screen? So here is a person, maybe one of you, and if you see in your mobile, you should be able to see other persons, like other avatars, and when you move around your mobile, you can see them just moving around, just like this somebody. So when I was talking about avatars, this is how you can represent yourself. When you were, I can see somebody else. Yep, somebody is moving around. So this is kind of what I was talking about. This is a VR social scene, and I am right now in India, and you are all in Singapore, and we can literally use this room to kind of communicate. This is using WebRTC to communicate, and I can see somebody else there. Hi. So these are your representations. Eventually, when you are in the scene, you can modify this scene. You would want to create your avatar as a unique identity. So you would slowly customize them, have your unique presence there, and next time when you log in or just go there, you will have something permanent like this Minecraft uh, Ash. So yeah, I'll let you all play around with it. I'll go back to my Skype. How do I do that? Yes. Thanks a lot for having me. Thank you.